Fred. I'm the president of DCU. I'm going to start talking now. I'm also a photographer, and what you're going to see here is photographs which I'm associating with 19 principles of strategic planning in DCU, so I thought it was time that should be popularized. But I'm not going to tell you what this photograph here suggests. That's up to you to work out. The first principle of strategic planning in DCU is this, the need to accept and recognize that all knowledge is connected. And what you see actually here is a passage that takes you from the humanities via computing right up to life sciences and eventually into the library. And so that now here, this is another principle, which is the need to make use of old things in a new way. You might recognize what this actually is a photograph of. And there are many people in academic life who are quite reluctant to make connections with old things. We need to do that better. That's about money. The need to diversify resources and make good use of the resources that we have. And there are some euros and other coins that are in that particular photograph to illustrate that point. Here we have the need to identify and understand what's in the background, not just to focus on the things that you can see clearly in the foreground, but think of the context, which in strategic planning terms is actually very rarely done in universities. So what you're actually seeing here is Albert College in the background in DCU. Here, this is the need to communicate adequately and ensure that what you're communicating actually gets to the recipients. This is taken actually somewhere in Temple Bar here in Dublin, and you can see that that's a house that doesn't regularly empty the postbox. This is the need to understand what is real and what's just a reflection. The photograph is actually taken in Newcastle upon Tyne. I'm a Newcastle United supporter, God help me. So on one of my last visits, I took that. This is the need to exploit opportunities, and you know where that is because that's outside your establishment here, and it was on a day just after the new traffic arrangements, absolutely no traffic, and there were some opportunities that could actually be made in that kind of context. Here, this is the need to be prepared for what we're going to encounter, and to understand what's behind the next door you're going to open, metaphorically, so the need to be prepared and to look ahead and to look beyond the immediate obstacles. This is the need to focus on the right issue. And this was taken in Temple Bar as well. There was something quite dramatic happening next to where these two people were, but actually they were staring up into space, completely oblivious of what was going on around them. And so the need to focus is an important part of what we do. This is the need to work in teams and not on your own. That's actually Griffith Avenue where that is taken, and I think it's a woman actually you see walking there, had separated from a partner who was walking on the other side of the road in a similar environment. The need to maintain necessary infrastructure, and what you're actually seeing there is the Mullingar to Athlone line just at the edge of Mullingar Station, which has been, as you can see, is not in good current use. The need to avoid a gloomy assessment and pessimism. I was just trying to catch an atmospheric shot there. You can still see the leftover of the Celtic tiger looming over the buildings there, but we need to be positive and optimistic as we look ahead and be determined. And we also need to occasionally pass things where appropriate, not be driven into an opportunity that isn't actually right for us. So it's the opportunity or the need to be able to say no at appropriate occasions. You can see the cyclist actually passing by the doors. The need to network and to have discussions and conversations with people who are going to be able to help us, and to also be careful about who's overhearing you and where that may be a problem. This one is the need to accept occasional pain for a worthwhile cause. I was actually taken on Grafton Street, and then coming up now in a second, the need to keep things confidential where necessary. That's actually two of my colleagues in DCU at a meeting. And confidentiality can sometimes be an important part of getting the strategy right. The next then is the need to be able to observe things over a distance and to see the further perspective and to be appropriately set up to be able to do that. We're coming near the end, and the next one is about sustainability. This is the need for long-term sustainability. What you're actually seeing there is what the Americans, because it is an American, would call a gas station, but long abandoned and nature taking over. Clearly that wasn't a sustainable enterprise, but what we need to do needs to reflect sustainability. And finally, the need to be prepared when things are not right to bring them to an end, not to carry on excessively beyond where it's still appropriate. So thank you very much indeed.